here and I was in my space because I have like a little space I call like my little haven. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, wait, today's Monday and it's almost 12. I'm gonna hit up Renee. So I was in my space and because I normally come here this is where I normally come to um pray and do all of that and just kind of relax. I sometimes stretch in this little area that I have. I
Yeah,
always feel like everybody needs an area, right?
absolutely. I have an altar with symbols for all of my students that I'm holding space for. So
Oh,
anyway, this is the replay of the new moon ceremony in Aquarius, and I'm Renee Varnador, and this is Soul Portal Journeys, and I'm here with my friend Sarah.
hello.
That's Sarah. And we are going to celebrate and do a ceremony for the new moon. So the first thing that we do is we sing in the archangels. And so this is a song that just came through to me when I knew I wanted to add singing and movement to all of my classes that I teach. And so I was asking the angels to send me a song, and this is what they sent me. Took me a while to work it out and all that, but this is the song. I'm going to put up the lyrics on the handout. So I'm sharing the handout right now, and you should see a picture of the new moon ceremony. This is the picture of Aquarius. We're going to work with that a little later because we're in the early degrees of Aquarius right now. So these are the things for the ceremony. If you have them, great. If you have a journal, something to write with, great. If you have a candle, wonderful. But if you have something to clear your aura, that's great. If you have sacred water, we're going to sanctify the water. If you know Reiki symbols, you can use that. We're not going to use the dark chocolate today. If you have a scarf, if you have a rattle or a drum, those are things that you can collect. It's actually not necessary to have any of these things, but it just helps if you do. So I'm going to, as soon as we sing in the archangels, I'm going to light a candle. So here's the song. It's calling in the 7 directions. I'm going to pull this in a little. We're going to start east. So east is over here for me. So figure out where east is, and then south, west, north, and then we're going to go below, above, and within. So that's what we're doing. The first archangel we're calling in, the first direction is the east. Spirits of the east, Archangel Raphael, please come. Spirits Archangel Michael, please come. Angel Gabriel, please come. Spirits of the north, earth clearing spirits, Archangel Uriel, please come. Spirits of below, Mother of potentiality, Archangel Sandalphon, please come. So notice if you feel any different after singing in these angels. I always feel tingling. I always feel their presence, but sometimes it takes a while to get used to the fact that that funny feeling is actually the archangels kind of tapping you. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make the sounds for the seven chakras. And we're clearing the chakras through sound. So it's lam at the root chakra, and it goes lam, bam, ram, yam, hum, om, and om. So I'm over here on the harmonium making the little sounds. So the first one is lam, bum, 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 bum. Rum, 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 rum. Yum, 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 yum. Hum, 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 hum. Okay, and notice how you feel. Sometimes I feel tingling in my hands after that. Today I kind of feel tingling right above my nose, kind of close to my brow chakra. So that's kind of interesting. So just notice, and if you want to share any observations, you can. If not, we will move on. I'm going to light a candle, and as I light the candle, I am thinking of saying thank you to the angels that are around us now and any other guides that we want to bring in, and knowing that we have the light within us. So I am bringing in and lighting the candle for the light within me. So I've got my candle lit, and this candle is helping us hold sacred space. And so now we're looking at the soul portal map, which is something I created, like when I opened up my soul opened up like about 4 years ago, and I felt like, okay, I'm going to step out of this cage I built for myself, and I'm going to move forward in my life, but I don't know how to navigate this. So I realized that really what I'm navigating is these seven phases. I call these the 7 phases of creation, and what I am co-creating with the archangels, with spirit guides. And so I pull a card. This is a card deck that I created. Basically it's from my spiritual journey, from my journey into Europe and other places. And sometimes there's symbols. And so today we kind of got a symbol of balance. And this is the yin yang, masculine, feminine circle, but we're only seeing parts of it. And so we've got the heart here, we've got the mind here, and we can flip it. And like lately I've been more focused on the heart and coming back into about a little bit more balance, but also using my logic and reason, which I pretty much put over to the side while I was focusing. So that would be a perspective change for me at this point. And so if you have cards that you have, or you have pictures that you use for yourself, just kind of helping you see, kind of nail down, okay, where am I today? What's going on? Where am I in the creative process? What am I creating? And since this is a new moon, we're going to be thinking about what is being conceived. That's going to be our question when we get to the ceremony. We get to that kind of questions. So Sarah, do you have any questions at this point? If not, no worries.
I don't have any questions, except for, let me see here. You said we're going to be starting at the, well, I will say that I did feel the tingling. I will say that. I
All
felt the
right,
tingling in my hands. I also, when I first lit my candles, they started popping.
good.
So they're here for
All
sure.
right,
I'm pumped.
okay,
Um, and also the last time we were at our church, the yin and the yang popped up, and I actually drew it. So all of this is it's really, and I also have the hearts there. So I even drew hearts, and I wish I could like show you with my video, but it's not working, of course. But
okay,
yes, we're on the right path.
okay, good. All right. So we're moving on. We're moving together here. That's awesome. I love that. Okay, one thing that might sound a little strange to some people, but not to others. So other people are like, when's she going to get to the Palladian astrology? So basically, I discovered Palladian astrology, which is channeled by this couple who are working with 6 entities from the Pleiades, and over a period of 10 years, Pia Orleans came out with an Palladian astrology book, which I have down here. But what it basically is that there are 20 spiraling earth energies. Is this kind of like, okay, here's all the spiraling earth energies. And this is like, some of them face east, some face north, some face west, some face south. And it kind of, the sequence starts with being and moves through all of these energies. So these are all energies that we came to Earth to explore. And it's not like this one's better than this one, or that one's better than that one. They're all just different. And when we move through them all, then we just, what ends up happening is that the ones that we're better at, and the ones that we're just getting to know, they kind of start to even out as I stop having preferences over. My favorite one is, some of my favorites. I like my natural, on the day I was born, there was being energy. So I like that one. But today we are in moving energy, which is good because we're going to do a ceremony where we're going to do a little bit of moving. And in moving energy, the idea is to step out of the lower vibrational frequencies of the energy and step into the higher vibrational frequencies. And so stepping out of confrontations with people, blaming other people, blaming myself, blaming the God, blaming the universe, blaming the spirit guides, blaming the angels. And then competition, having a sense of competition with other people that are like successful or doing things that I want to do. Like sometimes I will get into competitions with people that publish a book, and I realize, okay, there's just information for me to say, okay, I need to focus on that. So stepping up, rising out of that, we step into exploring, and we step into educating ourselves. So if I'm like going jealous of somebody or comparing myself to somebody that wrote a book, then my job is to figure out, okay, what do I do? How do I self-publish a book? How do I sit down and write every day? What do I need to set up for myself in order to do that? So I'm just exploring that. And so that's kind of how my moving energy is going right now. And this picture of these great 3 women that are moving all kinds of different ways, and we'll get more into how different ways that we can explore movement as we go. But there's another energy besides the earth energy, and that's universal energy. And there's 13 of those, and we go through a 13-day cycle also. So there's the 20 cycle and the 13 cycle. And today we are at the manifesting energy, which is number 10 on here. And initiating energy is great. That's like new moon energy. 2 days ago, it was the new moon, and that was connecting energy, which is a really good energy for the new moon, just really be able to connect to our hearts. But a lot of times it's not good to figure out what's being conceived right on the new moon because we don't know what the energy is yet. And so we kind of get more of a chance to say, okay, get more clarity on what is happening. So we're in manifesting energy, and manifesting energy is number 12, and it's manifesting from our previous work, what has been built up. So we're going to be manifesting whatever it is we've been working on, whatever we've been building, whatever has been so important to us. Like, for instance, if you decide to create an altar, then you are manifesting from the previous work you did of building up the altar. If you are manifesting from the previous work I did of creating an outline for a book, that's been built up, and then continue to manifest on that. If I'm taking healing classes, then or other classes or other spiritual development classes, that I'm manifesting from that previous work that has been built up. So when you realize that you're building on top of building, then you realize, okay, so I'm not just running around doing nothing anymore, which I used to do in my younger days. So you can have more of a feeling that, yeah, I'm working with, and I'm, building these steps to really feel the circle of life here. And there's a third energy, and that is every 13 days, we come up to something called completing and integrating energy. And humanity would have evolved faster if we're on a 13-day cycle, which the moon is, instead of like a 12-day cycle or a 31-day month or a whatever. But it's, if like a 7-day week and then you rest, but people don't. And so if you really spend time integrating the cycles that happen, that you move through, then once we know all of those evolving evolutionary guidance energies, then our growth really accelerates. So evolutionary cycles, we're in intuiting cycle right now. We've been in this one since January 14th. And in intuiting energy, it's a period guiding us to use our intuition as we face challenging decisions. Our hearts can lead us to intuitive truths. And so when we go into the meditation after the movement, we are going to go into the eye of the heart and what is being conceived. And so we're going to be actually doing what the evolutionary guidance is having us focus on for the next 13 days. So that's that. And here's the book, which I read, and then right after I read it, I got a reading from Pia Orlean, and she co-wrote this with her husband, Colin Bardsmith, and they live in Europe. And so I got a reading from her, and then I took a class from her. So I like to explore the energies and move to the energies and kind of combine the energies. But she, this book kind of nails down, and you can look up what were the energies on the day that you were born, or you could book time with me and I could tell you, or you could book time with her. So, and here is the 2003 Palladian Earth Energy Calendar, which I've been buying for the last 3 years. And one of my students is also buying it and gotten the calendar and is starting to pay attention to the different energies of the day. And she's told me that she started really seeing and feeling and getting information that's related to the evolutionary guidance cycle that we're all in. And so that was huge. I was so excited for her because she has grown so much. So Any questions about this? Sarah, if you don't have any questions, fine. You don't have to unmute if you want to ask a question about Palladian astrology or what it is or why I do it. Anything, go ahead. Okay, so we'll keep going. And so this is what the new moon looked like on Saturday. These are all of the major planets in the sky. And we have Pluto at the last degrees of Capricorn. So just before the new moon, you might have felt a lot of tension of opposites, a lot of tensions of dark and light that kind of, rubbing against each other and possibly alchemizing into an opening, or maybe just kind of getting, some people kind of get stuck in these alchemizing conflicts. But right after that, the sun moved into Aquarius, and then the moon caught up with the sun. And when the moon, this is the moon right here, and this is the little glyph for the sun. And then this is the sign for Aquarius. So the outer ring is all the signs. This is Aquarius. And the inner, this ring right here has to do with what planet we're talking about. Okay. And so this is kind of where the planets were when the full moon was, when the new moon was exact. And so we notice that we have a lot of things happening in the sign of the Aquarius, which is the sign of collaboration, which is the sign of what can I do to serve humanity? That's like the question of Aquarius. When you stop being concerned only with my personal growth and what am I going to do and how am I going to stay in integrity and earn a living at the same time. And you get to the point of asking, okay, well, what I understand my life now. I want to understand life. I want to understand what we're all doing and what's happening for everybody on the planet and what's going to be the highest good for all. And so that's what kind of the energy that Aquarius invites us into. And of course, we're stepping into the age of Aquarius and stepping out of the age of hiding our spiritual truth from ourselves and everyone else. And so that's kind of interesting. Something that kind of is speaking to this new moon, and it's going to be speaking for the next, the rest of the lunation cycle, which is 29.5 days long, is that Venus and Saturn, this is Venus right here, the blue one, and this is Saturn. They're very close. They're within like a degree. And so it's this beautiful time of being able to express from the heart and express value and what I value about humanity, and looking at Saturn, and it's like, okay, so how do Saturn helps us contract our expanded energies. So Saturn helps us to be responsible and disciplined and to continue to show up and meditate even when we don't feel like it, or to not eat that extra piece, that extra chocolate eclair when we get this, we see one and we want it. So that's Saturn's job. And so Saturn is right next to the beautiful goddess Venus. So if we just want to look at what's happening in the new moon, we also have Jupiter here creating a nice, beautiful aspect with Pluto. And so there might be, anytime there's sextiles, there's an opportunity to really communicate and have a conversation between the two planets that have a sextile between them. And so this is Pluto that's in the last degrees of Capricorn, and this is Jupiter that just moved into Aries last month. And so they're having a conversation. They were having that conversation at the new moon they were having that conversation when the sun moved into Aquarius. They were having that conversation as the sun was on Pluto. So they've been having a conversation for a while. And so we can look at the archetypal patterns of these planets and kind of see, okay, is that like a conversation that's going on in my head? It's like, so for instance, if Pluto is this planet of transformation and like volcanic eruption from within. It's like what was hidden is now coming up and out, and it's like lava flowing, fire flowing, destroying what's no longer serving me. And when it hits the ocean, creating new Earth. So that's Pluto. And then Jupiter is a sense of expansion, that there are possibilities, that there are way more possibilities than I'm imagining, that my life is much bigger than I ever thought. And all of these expansions that I've been having don't even have to stop if I don't want them to. I kind of, Jupiter and Saturn kind of have this relationship where Jupiter expands and Saturn contracts. And if you think about that, that's our breathing process of expanding our lungs and then contracting them. And so when we go into the eye of the heart, sometimes to find the eye of the heart, we contract contract our heart chakra by putting our shoulders back and feeling this activation in our heart chakra, just to find that place within us that is the eye of the heart. And then the expansion, the Jupiter expansion, we experience with, it's like a golden halo all the way around. So a lot of the saints in the Renaissance pictures have those big golden circles on their head. And here's Our Lady of Guadalupe with the golden circle from head to toe. So that's kind of, when we go into the eye of the heart, that's what we're going into. We're going into this shape. And so this is all set up for us to do that. So we are going to be doing a full moon in Leo. We're going to be why did I do that? We're going to be looking at the full moon in Leo. But I have more information on that later on this. Really briefly, to look at the these are the Angel Tarot cards by Radley Valentine. And what's happening when a new moon is the meeting of the sun, the solar daytime. I'm going to take action. I'm going to do this. I'm going to create stuff. That's the sun. That's the light. That's the light within us. So that's masculine or yang energy. And then we've got the moon, which is the nighttime, kind of what's hidden, learning to see in the dark, learning phases, learning to work with energies, learning insights in psychic development, releasing fears. And so the moon is more third eye chakra, or some people think of it, can think of it in other chakras too. So that one's not as nailed down. But pretty much everybody that does embodied astrology feels the sun in the solar plexus. And then the card for Aquarius is the star card in the tarot. And so that's like, we've got right here, we've got 18, we've got 17, 18, 19. So this is the star card. Aquarius is connecting to the stars that were rising when we were born. So that's part of our astrological makeup also. And this one is Archangel Jophiel, who is one of the archangels, who is one of the heart chakra angels. There's 4 of them. So that's the tarot version. But we want to get to the ceremony. So one of the things that I'm experimenting with, I don't know if this is going to work or not, because I just started experimenting with it, but it kind of feels interesting and kind of helps me, get into the Aquarius energy is to make this shape right here with my body, so that this is like my head and these are like my hands, and these are kind of like my feet, kind of scrunched up, and or I can squat down and kind of make this pattern as I'm moving. And so it kind of gives me, so far it's giving me a little bit of more information on the signs. I just started doing this last month, it kind of embodying the constellation or the star patterns of Capricorn, where we were last month. So this is the Vesica Pisces, and so it's like the circle of spirit and the circle of matter coming together in that almond shape, that golden halo shape that our Lady of Guadalupe holds. And then in the very, very center, infinitesimal, is the little jiva, what the Hindus call the little jiva, that soul part of us, that little spark of the divine that's within each one of us. So that's what we're that's what we're going to be contacting when we go into the meditation of what is being conceived. So we're ready for the ceremony. If you have water, that's probably the most important thing on this list. And any questions before we start, Sarah?
So I get the just water, like a glass of water.
Yeah, just like a water to drink.
Oh, water to drink. Okay, got it.
And then if you have paper and a pen, that would be good.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so this is cool. And it'd be nice. Usually I have the music queued up. So we'll see. Let's see. Okay. So I am playing an Aquarius new moon. And what we can do is we can make patterns. This is probably too loud. So we can create hearts as we're moving. We can use our scarf as we're moving. We can create hearts. We can create figure 8 patterns. We can make figure 8 patterns with our hips. And we can also do the Aquarius pattern, the pattern for Aquarius, and see if we can feel that, and just explore with our feet, with our hands, with our scarves. For people that like to have rattles or drums, a lot of times I will shake the rattle to kind of clear the air if I feel like I need it. So we're just gonna move for a little bit, then we're gonna sit down and we're gonna go into a meditation. So And when you're ready, you can sit down, have next to your journal and a pen. So we're going to go into a quiet meditation. I'm going to pull the music way down for this. So if you can have your feet on the ground, or if you're sitting cross-legged, just feel your root chakra on the ground. And feel that energy and allow that energy to move, the energy of the earth move up your legs. The energy of the earth move up your chakras into your heart chakra. Bringing some of the earth energy into the chakra and then exhaling out the top of your head, anything that doesn't serve you. And then we're bringing energy from above, energy from the sun and the moon having met, which is kind of the yin yang symbol, the sun and moon meeting. And we're bringing that sky, beautiful sky energy down the chakras into the heart chakra, letting some of that sky energy mix with the earth energy. And then exhale what's not serving us out the bottom of our feet. We might know what's not serving us and exit that. And if we don't know, we just feel something release that needs to go. And now we're going to inhale. Again, we can put our hands on our heart chakra, on our heart. And we can feel the sense. So I'm going into the center of my heart chakra, going into that center, which is the eye of the heart. And as I inhale, I expand, and as I exhale, I contract into that center point. Then I take a second inhale, and I inhale from behind my heart chakra. There's a vortex on both sides of my body for the heart chakra, for each of the chakras. And I bring that energy from behind inside my heart chakra, meeting up with the other point from the front. And I'm feeling these 2 points like the eye of the needle that we move through to walk into our soulful self and our soulful wisdom. And now I take a third intentional breath. I'm feeling this point, this going through the needle and feeling where this new point, and then expanding out into this golden halo, like the one surrounding Our Lady of Guadalupe from foot to head. And then contract again, feeling our essence, and then expand out into a golden circle. And then inhale into the eye of the heart, asking the question, what is being conceived? What is being conceived within me from this full moon? What is starting? What is being conceived? And just keep asking that question. You might get an answer like a word or a color or an image, whatever feeling you might get for the answer. I'm going to go into silence for a minute, asking what is being conceived. Okay, as we slowly come back, we can rub our fingers together, feel our feet on the ground, and we can pick up our pen and journal, write anything that um, anything that came up in our asking what is being conceived. And as we're writing about what came up, we can ask ourselves the question, what is the baby step that I need to take in order to make to step more fully into this new energy that's new, this new beingness that's being conceived within me? What baby step do I need to take? So if I'm thinking about my the play that I'm writing, I don't want to be like, okay, I'm going to finish the first act. That's too big of a chunk. I would be thinking of, okay, I'm going to reread the things that I've written so far, focusing on the scenes, the essential scenes that that drew me to write about this in the first place. So that would be an example of a baby step for me at this point. So when you have, Sarah, when you have written down anything that you received in this meditation, and you have the baby step has come to you, if you would like to share, you can go ahead and unmute and share for you what was revealed as being conceived at this time.
Okay, so one of the things that did pop up was your journey. And I asked the spirit, I said, I, okay, it's the journey, but I wanted to ask more questions because I didn't, that could mean so many things.
Yeah.
It
Mhm.
says, focus on health and wellness, which I am, and it says you're on the right path of health and wellness. Um,
Beautiful.
and of course, you know, as we mentioned before about conception and fertility,
Mhm.
it said give it time, you know,
Beautiful.
have faith and look less, look at it from like a less focus. Don't just keep focusing on that. Focus on your wealth and health
Mm.
first, and stop just trying to, because right, maybe it's not the time, and it's okay, but it's coming.
Okay.
So um that is kind of what I'm getting from that. And then I also, when I close my eyes, I seen
Mm. Good.
a triangle with a circle around it.
Good.
I'm not really sure what that means, but that is what I saw.
Okay, then you received a meditation object.
Yes.
So that you will discover as you look at the triangle, and maybe even trace triangle with your, if your eyes are closed, you're kind of tracing a triangle in your mind and then tracing a circle around it and just feeling into that, and wondering, okay, what is that triangle, and
Mhm.
what is the nature of a triangle, and what does it mean, and then what does the circle
That
mean, and then
circle
what
means.
does it mean to have the triangle with the circle around it. So those are your meditation objects, and your mind's not answering the questions for you. Your mind learned what a triangle was back in geometry class in middle school. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking
Yeah.
about on a more esoteric level. We're talking about more, okay, these are symbols that are helping us in our spiritual growth. So
Mhm.
you're using a different part of your brain to ask those questions and to
Yeah.
meditate on that.
Huh. Very, very, very cool.
Very cool. Yeah. So
Interesting. Yes.
I could sit there and tell you what the triangle means for me or the circle means, but that's not what the important thing is, for you to find it for you.
Yeah. I feel like I'm gonna find it on the journey,
Yeah.
as it mentioned, because it's literally by what I wrote. It's by the journey part. So on my journey, I'm gonna figure the triangle and the circle out for sure.
Yes.
But
Absolutely.
it also did, because I also asked, because right now I'm doing a fitness competition. So
Mm.
I was kind of like, am I going to continue? I just want to make sure, because I'm not going to lie, it's very hard. It's very challenging, I should say. Not hard, but just challenging, of course. It's a challenge, but
Right.
it's, I will complete. That's one of the questions I really wanted to know, because I'm like, this is only day one. And I mean, it is, the meal prepping, the everything is it's a lot. So, and I just want to make sure, I'm not just, I just wanted to make sure. That was one of the things. And it says I'm going to be very successful in this. So
Oh, beautiful.
I'm
Okay.
pretty happy about that.
That's
Because-
good. That's
and it
good.
just said, and the baby steps when you said that was just
Mhm.
have faith.
Beautiful.
Let's focus on the little things. It
Mhm.
will happen. Things will come as they go. You know?
Right.
So
Beautiful.
yes, ma'am. Thank
Yeah,
you.
you got good for you. You got a lot of guidance out of that on different levels. That's beautiful.
Yes. Yes. What about you?
Yeah, I got some guidance on my book that I'm writing, and I got some guidance on what my plans for my husband and I, that we have like these, 5-year plans, and so I got some information on the 5-year plan, so we'll see. We'll see
Nice,
what happens with
nice.
that. So
Yay.
that's exciting.
Is there
So,
travel?
oh yeah, we travel a lot.
Yeah, I can see travel. Seeing
Absolutely.
it.
There's
Yes.
definitely a travel.
Yes.
So,
I see far, like really far, going somewhere far.
oh yeah. Yeah, we're gonna really explore Europe. We've already explored it some. I've been there 8 times. And then I drug my husband there. So he's been there. We've been there together 5 times. So, we keep going back. So
Are you thinking Asia?
I my husband's been to Asia. So we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Well,
Okay.
I might become, after I get what I need from Europe, I might be
Yeah.
more open to going to Asia. So
Nice. Nice.
we'll see. Okay, so that was that. And the next thing that I'm doing is a full moon ceremony, which is going to be on February 3rd at 4 p.m. on Zoom. And I think it's a Friday. And we're going to be looking at, in a new moon, the sun and the moon are together, and they're opposite each other in a full moon. And so we're going to be, each one of the time, there's like 12 signs. And so there's 6 axes where you're looking at what sign is opposite the other sign. So we've got Leo opposite Aquarius. So we're going to be looking at that polarity, and finding out, okay, am I more on discovering my soul essence, or am I more focused on what's going on with humanity, and how do I keep a balance to make sure that my cup is full and I don't just go and give away to other people all the time without taking care of myself. But at the same time, I'm not so selfish that I'm only thinking about what's good for me, and I'm thinking about the highest good. So those are some of the things we're going to talk about in the full moon ceremony. And that's going to be, the next new moon ceremony is going to be February 20th at noon Pacific time. So, and then,
2 in February, yes.
yeah, so the next 2 things that I'm doing are in February.
Oh
Well,
no, that's new moon. I'm sorry.
yeah, new moon's
Full
February 20th, full moon's February 5th. Full moon's February 5th, but we celebrate the full moon before the full moon. We celebrate the new moon after the new moon. It's just the way the energy works.
I did not know that.
Kind of interesting.
That's why we did it after this time, and this was for new.
Yeah, this is for the new moon, because what is being conceived is really, it takes a day.
I love this. It's starting to, like, at first, I'm not gonna lie, it was a little bit it was a lot. It still is a lot with that chart, that big wheel chart. That's a lot, but I feel like over time it's gonna get better for sure. Like I have a feeling, because it's already starting to, like, oh, okay, that makes sense. It's like puzzle pieces.
Yes.
So,
And it's okay not to understand what that big wheel is.
okay.
It's totally, most people don't know. They're just, whatever you picked up, was great.
Yes. Yes.
You probably picked up that the sun and moon are together in Aquarius. And if that's all you got, that's great. That's enough.
Yes. Wow.
So, I have an offering that I'm doing right now
Okay.
that I want to tell everybody about. It's I just put up a package of 3 astrology readings where at first we understand the charts, like we would look at somebody's birth chart and like really understand the chart. And then we go deep into the soul level of the chart. And then we even go into the star level of the chart, like we would look at the 4 royal stars, or we would look at constellations.
Is that what you were talking about? Because I know that you got up on stand. It was the first day that I ever, it was so wild. Like right when I saw you, I knew there was something about you that there was something that was telling me, talk to her, talk to her, talk to her. And I did. Then
Okay.
I didn't realize that you were a part of the church. Like you were like in the actual, I didn't know, I had no idea. And I thought you were just like somebody that, because I thought you were going to sit in the crowd, like, you know, everybody. And then I saw you up there. I was like, oh, wow, she's up on, you know, up there. And then you actually spoke that day about astrology and everything like that. And I remember you stating like these things. And I just I don't know, it just, there was something about it. It just grabbed my attention. And there was something I was getting to there. Oh yeah, that's what it was. You were talking, okay, it just came. It was about the birth chart, about the everything you just mentioned, all 3 of those. It was 3. I definitely want to do that. That's something I definitely want to explore more into, for sure.
Okay. All right. That's awesome. I'm going to put this link in the chat so you can find out more about this.
Okay.
Also, jump on a 30-minute free, no obligation consultation with me here. This is where you would schedule that 30 minutes, where we actually look at your chart. I get your birth information, your like time with your date of birth, time of birth, and place of birth. And if you
Okay.
have all 3 of those things, then go ahead and schedule a 30 minutes, free 30 minutes with me. And then we can talk about what your next steps in astrology would be. So I'm going to put these in the chat. For people that are watching this replay, I'm going to put this in the show notes. So just click show more, and those 2 links will be here. If you are on in my Facebook group, Soul Portal Journey Sisterhood, just look in the comments, because these links just kind of go see more, and these links will be in there, and then you can schedule a time to talk to me too after you check out what it is that I'm actually doing, and with the astrology, going deeper within 3 sessions. I have a much more expensive price for going into a 1 session private reading than I do for a package of 3, because I feel it's really important for people to go deeper. So I'm going to put those links. I'm gonna just copy this one. Okay. I'm gonna copy this one. Okay, so the last thing we do in my classes is we sing. And Sarah, you know this song.
Yes, I do. I'm learning, but I do know it. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So what we're doing is I am now holding space for all the people that are taking classes with me, all the people that are doing programs with me, and all the people that are important in soul portal journeys. And this new beautiful Sarah who's joining us. And I'm feeling this circle, I'm feeling this energy move around this circle of people in this circle of love, in this circle of peace, in this circle of love, in this circle of peace. I feel our unity, love, sweet security. I feel our unity, love, sweet security in this circle of love, in this circle of peace. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing this and I'm